Ireland is going to have any problems because number 17, Parcello, she studies time traveling. So I think if Ireland was going to lose this, she would have something to say about that.
Yeah, but you also got to bear in mind that the Swiss always claim that they always have a full supply of chocolate with them at all times, and I think that'll keep them going, to be honest.
And the game is about to begin. All right. So I think one of the best parts of the game is that initial brooms up because you have no idea what's going to happen. You have no idea who's going to end up with the bludgers, who's going to end up with the quaffle. Sometimes someone will make a fast break and get that very first goal, and sometimes that can be a big decider in a game like this.
Alrighty, let's see. All right, and they're off for the quaffle.
Right,
Switzerland managed to gain control. Beautiful play there, straight beat. And the the quaffle just rolls out of the pitch, so it's going to be a quick handover to the Irish. Running down the pitch now, number 16.
Yep, so that's number 16 is the tallest boy on Ireland, is the second tallest boy on Ireland at 194 centimeters, and I think that height is definitely an advantage because the first goal goes to the Irish team.
Fantastic.
The fun fact about the Irish team is that they're comprised of the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland, so it's great to see them working together for this.
Fantastic. Coming back on the ball is Stephanie West. They're really good on there's one of the many Wesses down in Switzerland, I'm told. There's about 5 of them. A few of them are related, but we'll just wait and see. It's not like Tasmania where they're all a little bit, they're all related. Alrighty, let's have a look here. Okay, Ireland have just gotten the handover. And a beautiful deflect there from number 11. That's Jan Klaja. He is 16 and definitely not writing a book on murder, that one. But it's really heartwarming to see such young players coming in at an international level.
It really is. And it just shows you that Quidditch definitely does have a big future because young people are interested. It'd be great to see a match between the more kids, but it's still great to see all of us adults out here playing, proving that sport is not dead when you turn 18.
Oh, beautiful play there, picked up by Switzerland. Coming in to number 20, that is Uncle Deleu.
And number 16 from Ireland just snatched the ball. I think that being second tallest is definitely helping him out there. Oh, and there was a sneaky bludger steal, and the Irish beaters are just attacking the Swiss side.
Beautiful deflections here on both sides. It seems they're coming out strong with their driving game on both ends. Not too successful there on the push, but let's see if this will result in a goal. Oh, there's been an advantage called. Refs just need to collaborate here.
Might be to fix that hoop because it might be a bit difficult for the Irish to score if they've got a hoop knocked down.
I don't know. We'll wait and see.
Yeah. So far, no goals yet. I thought Ireland got one earlier, but I was wrong. My bad.
As far as I can see, my latest information is telling me that Ireland do, in fact, have 1 goal. So just ignore what's up there on the screen. It's the current score is 1 to Ireland, 0 to Switzerland.
All right, so I think if Ireland can keep up with this early lead, then they might have this. But at the same time, the Swiss are just not letting in any more goals. I think they've learned from that first quick dash that they've got to be a bit more careful, and they are just not letting the Irish team near the hoops, which is great to see.
You know, I tell you, Helen, I'm really interested about these defenses. Oh, we're just getting a call here from the ref. Let's wait and see what their final call will be. Head referee is not happy. They're pulling out the cards. Getting a little bit of an explanation there.
All right, and we're just still waiting for that rest call.
Bit of a chat with the captain there. I believe that is Claudia Loach. I'm sorry, my accent is terrible. We're probably going to be butchering all these names here today.
But she lived in Mongolia once, so that's pretty cool. Oh.
And here comes the call.
Yellow card for Switzerland beater number 2. Illegal contact, charging from behind.
All right, so that was a yellow card to the Swiss beater for illegal contact from behind. You can't touch people on their backs. That's pretty bad, so now we know.
All right.
Let's see if Ireland can capitalise with one of the beaters down. It looks like they've gone for a good old 1.5, and they scored.
Fantastic. So it's really interesting here. I haven't actually seen much Baylor or zone defence yet. They seem to be keeping it pretty tight on man, but let's see if they're going to evolve. The Irish seem to be spreading out a little bit more. taken up on what appears to be a C offense at the moment here from the Swiss team. Going in for the box.
Receiver
and a straight
that
through.
Was a beautiful
what a
goal.
Beautiful,
That was a it was well
goal
past to the receiver. So now it's 10 to Switzerland, 20 to Ireland. So if Switzerland can keep this in range, they might be able to get that snitch. And if they get that snitch, then they will have definitely redeemed themselves from 2018. So again, both teams are really going for it because when you won last year against the team, you don't want to lose to them. You just want to keep winning.
That's exactly right.
All right, and the quaffle is getting passed to an Irish chaser. That was a pretty nice tackle by number 20 from Switzerland, trying their all to get everybody down. Number 5 from Ireland just keeps pushing on, so that's great to see. Smith is just doing such an amazing job. All right, and the Irish are just trying to look for any gaps in the Swiss defense. They're not finding them because, Broom's down. So the Swiss are doing such a great job at just not letting the Irish through. They're trying the hardest, which is amazing to see. It's difficult for them to break through. They've managed to get through twice, but each time they get through, the Swiss just make it a little bit harder every single time.
Referees just deliberating. If you have to glance your gaze over to the sub box, you might be fortunate enough to see the supporters on both sides. They're both dressed in flags. On the Swiss side, we've got the beautiful My Swiss Lady, I think it's called. She's dressed in a lovely white skirt and this beautiful long flag across. On the other side, we've got a really lovely Irish man sporting an Irish kilt and a beautiful pink headband. So keep an eye out for them. They're a truly fantastic bunch. There we go. You can see her on the screen.
I think my favourite supporter is Hank the Unicorn. He's just right by the... he's right over at the scoreboard, so if you zoom over to the scoreboard, eventually you'll see Hank the Unicorn. Probably the greatest person on field you'll ever see. He never misses a thing, and he just brings so much joy to everyone's hearts. So you'll probably see him all day.
Everyone loves having a good old sit down with Hank the Unicorn.
Yeah. We're not kidding. He's actually a unicorn, folks. All right, and it looks like the referees are still deliberating, but hopefully we'll get something soon so we can get back to what we all came here for, watching people get sunburnt.
Yes, that is exactly the reason why we came down here today, because us Australians, we know our sunscreen.
Exactly. Like, at one point, you might see us running out onto the field and just throwing sunscreen at the players if we see them getting too...
Oh, no, there we go. We're getting the call from the ref here.
Yellow card for Ireland keeper number 30, ignoring beat calls.
And there we have it, folks.
And this is why you should always listen to your referees, because otherwise you will get sent off from the pitch.
That is true. That is very true. All right, now we're moving down the pitch. Now the Swiss now have bludger control. They're taking a good hard tackle, getting the pass off nice and clean. Number 11 running through. Taking it at the goals and a miss. As much as I love a good Hail Mary, it's a little bit of a panicky pass when you do that sort of stuff, so you got to really look out for that.
But the good thing about that is if you throw it far enough, that gives your team heaps of time to get back on the defense. So we've got number 0, Philip Moore from Ireland, making his way up the field. His jersey says number 0, but his mum says he is number 1 in her heart. I wish my mum spoke to me like that.
Yeah. Oh, just skims the top of the goal. An advantage has been called here by the referees. And they're just taking a little break there. So, yeah, I think we're just going to go into a little bit of the defences here. Sorry, I think I didn't explain myself properly.
So there are 2 types of the defences you'll be seeing today.
Or 2 main types.
2 main types. Everybody changes it up a little bit, but 2 main types you'll probably see. Number 1 is marking man-to-man. So that's just where every chaser picks a player and they just stick to them like glue and just try to stop that player from getting the ball.
A textbook way to get through a man-on-man defense is actually just called what's called mismatch. So when you do a man-on-man, you have to generally pair players up of similar size, physique, speed, that sort of thing. But you want to try and switch it up a little bit, create some screens, create some blocks, change the ball around. That's how you can really break through a man-on-man defense.
And the other type is the Baylor, which is my favorite. So what happens is you put a chaser on each hoop, and then you've got either the chaser or keeper on the point defense, so they are challenging the main quaffle player for that ball. And if they get beat, they run back to a hoop and are replaced by another chaser. So that's more swarming the hoops, and that can be very difficult for for the other team to break through and get close to the hoops.
Now, zone defense that you said was that you just said zone defense, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic. That's also called a Baylor defense.
In Australia, it's called a Baylor, and I always forget that over here, it's called a zone. So that is my bad. If you hear an Australian calling it Baylor, that just means we're from a different country.
Fantastic.
And we don't know what we're talking about.
Referees are still deliberating.
Um,
Having a good bit of banter, so that's always nice.
Well, we're only 4 minutes in, so this game could really go anywhere. Switzerland is still 10 points down. Like, we've had some pretty low-scoring games over the weekend, and it's very exciting when it's always in range when the snitch gets on pitch, because that just makes it more frantic.
Exactly. There's been a couple of out-of-range games, but I'd say mostly here at the European Games this weekend there's actually been quite a few close calls. If you watch out later today, it's definitely only going to get more intense.
Like, that's just what I love about Quidditch over in Europe. Everybody just gets together and keeps playing, so everybody just has such a wonderful time here.
Fantastic.
Also, all the volunteers, there's so many different people from so many different countries here, which just makes the crowd so colourful and supportive. And we've got one of the Irish supporters is playing some kind of instrument. I don't know what it is.
I think it's called a penny whistle.
Oh, well, he's playing a lovely little tune over there. I wish he'd come over here.
Yeah, you can give them a nice little instrument. Seems like they're picking up a thing or two from Team Germany, who have a tendency to bring entire orchestras with them out to the pitches.
Well, I mean, sometimes you just need something to drown out the noise.
Exactly.
Because if they didn't bring the orchestra, they'd have to hear the commentators, and who wants to listen to that?
Exactly. But, no, the other interesting thing of other instruments is Team Denmark are actually really famous for bringing in huge sound boxes on these giant trolleys with them. So you always know where Denmark is based because you can hear some really sick beats coming from them. Probably not on pitch, though, but we'll wait and see.
I think it definitely does help that out of everyone in Europe, they're probably the best dancers.
All right, here we go.
Red card for red keeper number 1, illegal equipment.
And there you have it, folks. Illegal equipment. I didn't actually quite see what this illegal equipment was, but it could be anything from a little bit of jewelry to a headband to be a nose ring.
So I think that's going to hurt the Swiss a little bit. So what happens when you get a red card is the player who receives the red card then must immediately leave the pitch and is not allowed to come back. Switzerland has to put another player into the sub box, and they have to stay there for 2 minutes. So for 2 minutes, Switzerland will be playing a player down no matter how many goals Ireland scores. So this gives Ireland a wonderful 2 minutes to just really crank up all the opportunities and try and score as much as they can, because they are now a player down, which is really tough for any team, but red cards just make it even more tough. So this is why we've got to listen to referees and always abide by their rules. Otherwise, you just lose players, and it just makes it even more tough.
Fantastic.
All right, looks like we're about to start up again. Oh, and that is a goal to the Irish side. So that was done by, I believe, number 0, Philip Moore. Good work, Philip Moore. He is currently the keeper, and the Irish have gone back to their side with plenty of time to defend. And they've got a chaser up there trying to defend. All right, and Swiss is making a break for it. Are they going to get through, or are they going to be stopped? Oh,
There's Flavia Lutz there with the quaffle. She's still maintaining possession, protecting her
Philip
head.
Moore has the quaffle.
She is still on the
Ireland keeper
ground.
has the...
Looks like we have a quick brooms down, folks. Just double checking there. As you said, injuries tend to happen in Quidditch. Usually most of the time you just tend to shake it off and it's just all fine. And yeah, she's all good.
Yeah.
Bit of a heavy tackle there.
That's all right. Sometimes it happens, but hopefully they'll be back later. More on this Irish keeper, Philip Moore. I'm really enjoying his performance. He was on Team Europe on Friday. They lost to the German development squad, probably because they had an Australian on their side who kept giving the ball away to the Germans. It just kept slipping all over the place.
Fantastic. We're ready to go now, folks. Another interesting player to keep your eye on here is player number 10, who's called Jan Erik Erman. Number 10 there, closest to the camera, just sitting by the medium hoop, number 10, Switzerland. He went and trained with Oslo in Norway, and is very famous for painting his head red to look like Darth Maul at last World Cup.
I wish he'd done it for this one, because that would make him way cooler.
And there goes Philip Moore with the amazing goal, sprinting through, showing his mum he is clearly number 1.
Unfortunately, he wasn't able to beat Diane McFall for number 1 on his team, but that happens sometimes.
What are numbers? What are numbers? What is in a name, Helen? What is in a name?
That's true. All right, so the Irish side is back on defense. Switzerland is looking for any gaps they can. Number 10 from Switzerland has it.
Coming in from his Oslo experience there, pulling off that tackle. Beautiful.
Nice.
Still moving through. He's taking on Philip Moore. Let's see how this goes. Goes for the goal. No shot there. Is number 24 going to... Oh,
the Irish chaser has the ball. Are they going to make it to hoops, or is that bludger going to stop them? Oh, not a goal, but number 7 from Switzerland now as the quaffle passed it off. I'm really enjoying number 10 from Switzerland because they are a very speedy player. I love seeing Jan Erik Herman run because they're so quick.
And fantastic. Here down on number 49 beating is Samson Reich. We're very pleased to see him on pitch today. He is very famous for going on a 3-month tour of New Zealand and sharing his skills there in the Quidditch community. Just a missed goal there from number 10.
Number 7 has recovered the ball. Oh, never mind. And Philip Moore is once again getting that ball. Philip Moore seems to be a bit of a speedy boy, but not as speedy as Matt Pettigrew, number 67 from Ireland. He's supposed to be the fastest, but Philip is giving him a run for his money.
Philip tries to get the ball out.
All right, number 10.
And number 10, yeah, he's going to come down for another goal. Looks like he's probably going to go for that drive. And it's straight through. You know, it wasn't lucky the first time, lucky second time. Fantastic work there from number 10.
If you fail, just keep trying again, and eventually you will get that goal.
Yeah.
So what I love about this is this game has just become so fast-paced. Everyone is just running heaps, and it's great to see. Ireland has just brought on a new player, number 8.
Fantastic.
Hopefully he'll make a difference. We'll see. Number 80.
Yeah, I can have a wee look at that one. I'll have a look down.
Number 80, Kane Kavanagh, he bench presses people for fun.
There we go. He's going for that nice little pop, and there we go. Probably the first drive and ditch I've actually seen today. But it's looking really ripper.
All right, so Ireland is getting quickly back to their side for defense, and Switzerland is slowly bringing up the quaffle, but I think they work better when they run really quickly. Okay.
Damn, takes that beat all the way down near the keeper zone.
Okay, Ireland is pressing very high, just trying to get that bludger.
Yeah, Team Switzerland is now going for the drive.
So that's number 16, Carl Kane, who's just pressing high. And just causing a lot of discomfort for Switzerland. And number 16 is just sprinting his little heart out, trying to go for that goal. And looks like he scored. So good job to the second tallest boy, Kane Collery, at 194 centimeters. So I think, do you reckon being tall gives you an advantage in Quidditch?
I reckon it certainly helps. But to be honest, I wouldn't call it the be-all and end-all. There are plenty of amazing players here in the Quidditch community who are of different heights and builds. And I think, to be honest, that's one of the beauties of this sport.
Anyone can play and anyone can be a good player. It doesn't matter if you're 1 foot tall or 6 feet tall.
Oh, and here we go, coming down to number 0.
There is some pretty amazing beta play going on right now, trying to stop those goals. Number 34 is just pushing his way through. Switzerland player just got hit. And number 80 from the Irish side, their keeper picks the ball up and slowly bringing it up for Phil. But looks like he's going for a fast break because there aren't really that many bludgers.
Beautiful deflect there. Ireland goes for the second repeat and a second deflect there from the keeper. Beautiful, beautiful work there.
So Switzerland slowly making their way up the field. Number 34 seems to be a very solid guy that's got beautiful control. I'm loving the passing between the Switzerland players. They just keep passing the quaffle around.
That number 34.
Beautiful duck.
That number 34.
Just dodged a bludger. That was great.
That number 34 keeper there is responsible for that double block. His name
And there's
is...
a brooms down again.
Oh, that was Alan Hoser. He plays, it says here he plays floorball competitively. Do you know what floorball is, Helen?
Bowling?
Maybe?
Maybe it's just where you lie on the floor and you're the ball and people just kick you around like in soccer.
That sounds
For all
about
of you
right.
people in Europe, we call football soccer in Australia.
All right,
Don't ask why, it's weird.
All right, here we
don't even
go.
know.
It's moving up the pitch.
All right, that's number 67.
Oh, second
that's a
save
34.
there from the
Very good.
keeper of
34
Switzerland.
was beat. All right, 34 passes
Don't-
off.
Switzerland seem to have been punished heavily for that red card, but they're still holding back and coming in strong now that they're warming up to the Irish. The Irish there are definitely not holding back on the tackles. Passes are a little bit less confident on passing on both sides of the team, and so the Irish are slightly stronger. But then again, the Irish have been around a lot longer than the
That is
Swiss.
true.
Swiss have been around for around about 2 years, I think.
Yeah, not very long. They meet up every 4 weeks, so that's pretty cool. That's more often than Australia meets up, which is only once a year. Probably why we're the worst team in the world.
Oh, yeah. Just
Yeah.
so much sarcasm there, Helen. So much sass. I can feel it all the way. I can feel the vibes coming all the way from Sydney.
Oh, and there was a big Hail Mary pass that just missed over the Swiss end, but the perks of that is it gives the Team Ireland plenty of time to get back to their hoops for that defense. What Swiss has really capitalized on is when they make those fast breaks. Right now, they're playing it slow, playing it safe, not letting the Irish get too many more goals, which is really good because they're only 30 down. Team Ireland just can't seem to... Oh, there was a bit of a clash at the hoops between two beaters trying to go for a ball.
And then looks like they're going for that drive, and it's through.
Oh, that was a goal, but there is a brooms down, so maybe this goal will not last, unfortunately.
Advantage looks to have been called. Hopefully you can get a nice little view there of both flag bearers on either side.
So the score right now is 60 to the Irish team, 30 to Switzerland. So Ireland had pulled ahead for a little bit and was up by 40, which is pretty safe for you. But really, you just want to get beat out of range as much as possible. But the Swiss team is just not letting them have that. Every time Ireland scores, Switzerland is right back there just to score again. Switzerland is really keeping Ireland on their toes. So this game still can go anywhere.
One of the beautiful things about Ireland as well is that they use a mix of players from both Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, I believe. So they're a beautiful eclectic mix there. You've got players from Belfast, you've got players from Dublin, you've even got some players there from the UK as well.
Actually, one of them, number 98, Donahue from the Irish team, even got an Irish passport last year just so she could play for Team Ireland at the World Cup. Which is fair enough. The things we do to Quidditch, I almost considered becoming a Kiwi just so I could play on the Kiwi team, but then I remembered, no, I look better in green and gold,
Well,
just like everybody else.
Well, I do know that next up we've got Jandals from New Zealand, and I think she's still single, Helen. So you could really, there's still a chance for you.
Yeah.
Keep her.
Got two chance.
Yeah, no. I'm married to Quidditch,
Yeah, Quidditch is just everybody's life. I totally get that.
Alrighty.
But yeah, everybody remember, Emma Humphrey from New Zealand is single if you really want to go near a Kiwi.
Yellow
Alrighty,
card for red beater number 18. Illegal contact, sliding.
Fantastic.
All right, so that was a yellow card to number 18, Severin Wist from Switzerland. Illegal contact for sliding into another player. So that means a minute in the sub box. So let's see if Team Ireland can make any breaks from that. I think they have the quaffle, they've got the power, they have two bludgers. So maybe they'll capitalize on this, maybe they won't. Let's see how it goes. They're making their way up the pitch. There's a bit of a sense of urgency right here. They've got a minute with Switzerland only having 5 players, so you've got to make the best of that time. Unfortunately, their keeper got beat, but they had to chase it back in them up.
No, but it appears to be one of their beaters actually that's in the sub box. So, this means that their beater will always be allowed to have immunity. So, in fact, that's actually would lead to some interesting Quidditch right there.
Oh, and unfortunately, Ireland just did a Hail Mary pass and lost control of the quaffle, so now Switzerland has the quaffle.
So Switzerland are now doing technique also known as slow balling, which means they're just slowly walking it up the pitch. This is completely legal, but it does happen if you're, it's all right as long as you're moving the ball forward. Yep. So they're going to cross the halfway line now.
It's a smart technique if you're a player down, because it just gives you time for that player to come back. Oh, And number 17 from Switzerland has the ball, driving around, trying to make an opening. And it looks like...
Strap yourselves in, folks, for another mispronunciation. That player number 17 was
And
Simon
number 67
Geigenberger.
from Ireland now has the quaffle. They've given it off to Ruhr, the keeper. And it looks like the Swiss beater is back on field, but he just got beat by an Irish beater. All right, so quaffle to 98. That's Amy Donahue.
What a beautiful deflection there from number 45 of Switzerland. That one there is Kevin Meyer.
All right, so the Irish team's still looking to make an opening. The Swiss team is just crowding their hoops, not letting the Irish team in.
They're really keeping it nice and tight. And it's a little bit silly from the Irish, in my humble opinion. When you're the Irish, you really want to spread out and utilise your passing, make the Swiss run, make them work for it to create some openings. But they were actually hovering, just sitting there under the hoops. That was a very interesting tactic to see right there. I really wish I had a replay button on my screen so that I could go back and see that.
Look, it did work pretty well for them. They just crowded the hoops. The Team Ireland couldn't get in. So if it works, it works.
True that, true that. All right,
we found a technique that's working. The Irish can't seem to score against it. Now they just need to find a way to score themselves.
That was a little bit... See, there seem to be not too many successes on those Hail Marys over the hoops. Very hard to pull off. In fact, I'd say probably the best team at doing this is actually Team UK. So later on today, we're going to have, I believe, Team UK versus Norway. So do tune in about 2 hours' time to see that match.
That is going to be a very intense match, as UK is one of the reigning champions of this. One of the best teams in the world. Oh, that was a lovely catch from number 7, the beater on Ireland. Just caught a bludger. Oh, and we're back to the Irish team still has the quaffle. They're looking for an opening. Pass off to the keeper. The keeper is running around. Let's see how they go. Oh, and number 15 from Switzerland has it, but looks like they may have been
Ball now in the hands of Mario Rice.
Okay.
Quick brooms down.
Quick brooms down whilst the refs make their call. It may have been for ignore. It could be for anything at this stage. We don't know, folks, but...
Let's wait and see. And fantastic passes going back to the ref. They're going for a nice quick pop over.
All right.
And just trying to hold the defense while the Irish reset.
All right, let's see how they go.
Look at that amazing tackle.
Yeah.
The Swiss are clearly not holding back.
And we can still hear the little penny whistle floats. That's pretty great. Reminds me of Titanic.
Oh, but this is far from a sinking ship, this game.
Oh, no. Well, if the Switzerland win, it could be a sinking ship for Ireland. All right, so the Swiss have bludger control, which means they have both bludgers, they have the quaffle, so they've got all the power. They are slowly advancing on the Irish, making them a bit nervous. Team Ireland just is full of runners that just run around and try to stop everything. And they're going for
and a straight through.
Beautiful goal.
A little bit of an interesting play here from the Swiss. I do think that they're sort of setting their players way down behind hoops. 2 of them was not probably the best constructive strategy, but they knew that they were going for the drive and they were ready for the reset. So I would say that's a fantastic play there on Switzerland's part.
All right, and Ireland has the quaffle again. They need to get another goal, otherwise they will be in a lot of danger when the snitch comes on pitch. The snitch is worth 30 goals, and if Switzerland were 30 points, and if Switzerland catches that snitch, then they will beat Ireland and have redeemed themselves from last year. Oh.
Wow, what beautiful passing!
It's a very physical game. No one's afraid of tackling anyone. No one is safe.
No one is trying to run around a tackle either. They're just going for it.
That's what you love to see, though, in Quidditch. Either someone does a quick step and gets around, or they just bulldoze their way straight through.
Really quick beat there. Got a number 5 there from Ireland. Is she going to make a drive through? Oh.
And Switzerland has the quaffle again.
A beautiful, beautiful little cheeky swipe there from Flavia Lutz. She there is about 18 years old, one of the youngest players there on the team. And making big, big waves. I believe she's actually coaching and doing a lot of good work out in Zurich.
That's pretty fantastic. I wish I was that incredible at 17.
18, Helen.
Oh, 18.
Do try and keep up.
Time.
Do you need me to get you a coffee? Are you okay?
Yeah, I probably need a coffee.
All right, there we go. Oh, quick, beautiful pass straight over. Does not even flinch on that beat.
Oh, and Philip Moore has the quaffle again. I love watching this man run because he is just so speedy. He's almost as fast as my kangaroo when I drop food on the floor at home. All right, so Ireland still working around the hoops, and they are getting back to their hoops for defense. Not speedy enough. Oh, and there is another brooms down.
There we go.
So remember, if you hear repeated whistle blasts, that means brooms down, and you cannot keep going. Most people just drop their brooms just so they can slow down, but otherwise, just put your broom down and stop.
We're just going to wait here. Players are just having a little bit of a wander. Let's see if we can... You can see down there under the pitch manager's tent, you can see Hank the Unicorn there just chilling out. Beautiful big white fella. You can't miss him.
He really is comfortable. He has the most comfortable lap of all. Like, you just sit on him and you just feel so comforted by his presence.
Yeah.
Like, I've had a few cuddles with him over the weekend when I was feeling a little bit down about the Czech Republic losing yesterday to Slovenia, but Hank cheered me right up.
Nice, nice. I've seen a lot of really interesting techniques here to keep everyone cool here today on the pitch. We've got umbrellas. We've seen people with these massive spray guns. They've just been hosing their teammates down during brooms up. It's just fantastic. The creativity. We've seen little ice pools. We've seen people dunking their heads in ice buckets. We've seen showers.
Honestly, it's a lot better than in Australia, where the way to cool down is to just fight off all the bull sharks in the river in Brisbane. That's how we like to do it. A little bit of exercise never hurt anyone.
Yeah, we just kind of, basically though, the thing in Australia is that you just kind of just deal with it. When it's 40 degrees plus every day, you just kind of have to just move through it. You just ignore the heat. And then when you get home at the end of the day, then you realise what's happened. You've kind of got a snake in your trouser and you're like, oh.
Oh, it's always annoying. The worst part is when there's a snake in your boot when you're just waking up.
I know. But you know what? I would take a snake over a wallaby any day. Good for breakfast.
That's mean to Skippy. Skippy doesn't... You're not Skippy's godmother anymore.
All right, I'm sorry.
That's better.
All right. I mean, she's from Sydney and I'm from Melbourne, folks, so we got to have a little bit of a dig at each other every once in a while.
Yeah, if we don't let it out, then... Oh.
Here we go. We're getting a call from the ref. Beautiful. Lovely gold card there.
Yellow card for green chaser number 0, illegally propelling a ball off pitch.
Illegally propelling the ball off pitch. That is an interesting call there, folks. So just for those who are not aware, it is illegal to intentionally throw the ball off pitch in order to retain possession. And so it looks like this is going to be a handover
to Team Switzerland. So let's see if Switzerland can capitalise this. They're only 20 down. The snitch is going to be released in 10 seconds, and then a minute later we'll have seekers on pitch. So both teams could win, either team could lose. It will be very intense in just a minute.
It could go either way, I reckon. I think if I had to pick, though, physicality, I'd be going for Team Ireland, mainly just because they have the reach, they have the arm, they have the experience. Oh, and look at that. It did a basketball hover just on the hoops and straight through for Switzerland. The score is now 50-60, folks. You've got to get excited for this match. It could go either way, and they could be going into the next round.
Just make sure your internet doesn't cut out. If you're in Australia, the NBN is terrible, so they probably all stop watching. But I hope Europe has better internet speeds than we do.
I don't know. Just ask Germany. It's been pretty, I reckon, I'm really enjoying Germany, to be honest. Such great efficiency over here.
Honestly, I'm just going to move to Germany and pretend to be a German when they win this.
Exactly. You reckon Germany's going to win today?
Oh, I think so. What even is Australia? Never heard of it.
Well, you got to just keep an eye out on the Germany versus Turkey match, which will be happening later on today.
Oh, that's going to be a very good one to watch. But right now, the Seekers are about to be released, and they are both gunning for that snitch.
Switzerland getting some one-on-one time. We got number 10 here. That player is our lovely Jan Erik Herman from Oslo. He's probably the most experienced player there on the team.
Meanwhile, Ireland has the quaffle, and they need to hurry up and make some opportunities happen. Otherwise, they could be out of this, which would be a bit tough for them. If they can get the snitch, then they will have won this thing, but it just depends. They've got number 67, Matt Pettigrew. He's apparently the fastest boy on the Irish team, so let's see if he lives up to that reputation.
Beaters both kind of hovering around the snitch.
And there is a brooms down, so someone's been naughty.
Oh, boy.
I bet it was the Germans.
Yes.
Definitely the Germans. I'm blaming the Germans for this.
All right. Good
Yeah.
Good call. I think that I'm not even sure if they're here yet at the field, so, you know.
It was probably the Germans.
All right.
Actually, it may have been a sneaky Kiwi in there.
Oh my God! Can we your incessant hatred of New Zealand?
Oh, it's because
One of my best friends is a Kiwi, you know.
When I was a young wee lass, I dated a Kiwi and then they destroyed me.
Oh, I can see where they are ruthless, those Kiwis.
They really are. And now I'm left with Aussie men.
They'll come
It's too
in,
unfortunate.
they'll beat you at rugby, they'll beat you at cricket, they'll beat you in everything pretty much except Aussie rules. That's why
Please stop talking.
that's why the Aussie rules exist, I reckon. Aussie rules exist because they couldn't beat the New Zealanders at rugby, so.
Look, the only thing Australians are better at than Kiwis is Quidditch.
Ah, that is true.
And that's what we're here for, so Australia wins.
It's a pity that no teams were playing. Pity that no teams were actually Australia or New Zealand were playing this week. But we did have Team Europe, Australia and New Zealand representation.
Looks like the ref is giving a card.
Here we go. I'm really excited for this, Helen.
So am I.
We're getting some really exotic calls here as well. Like,
looks like it might be a contact call. Not sure.
For red chaser, number 17. Illegal contact. Contact below the knee.
contact from below the knee. Now, see, that's such an interesting call there. So for those who are unaware, if you're going to be tackling someone, it has to be between the knee and the shoulder, and your belly button essentially has to be within the 180-degree plane in front of the player. So it looks like someone went for some sort of weird foot tackle. I didn't see it, but you folks who are back at home can hit that rewind button and watch it again.
All right, so both seekers are coming up to the snitch.
Bit of a loopy pass there, but the
Hey,
players
it
are
landed.
getting through, running through that tackle, straight in.
Oh,
And it's
Swiss has
through.
scored again.
There we go. This is
Switzerland
an
has scored again.
interesting
the
game.
Irish beaters on the Swiss seeker. This
The
could
beaters
be
are now
anyone.
facing off. There is almost no... Oh, dear. The Swiss now no longer have control, and both seekers are now just running out the snitch. Snitch is just hovering on the sideline there. Keeping an eye on the quaffle play.
The Swiss seeker just got hit. Honestly, some of the most interesting parts of the game are just when seekers happen. And there is another broomstick down. Oh, looks like 67 may have been the victim of a little bit too fast of a broom pull out. That's happened to me before many a time.
That is
At least it didn't go through the back door.
fantastic.
All right, and 67's calling for a sub. That's what you want when you're on the snitch. You just want quick subs because the snitch will get tired, but your players don't have to.
Water Boy's now just running out onto the pitch now. It is not illegal to give people water on pitch.
Yeah, that's true because everybody wants to stay hydrated except for us because we know how to handle heat.
Exactly. It's going to be hitting at roughly 30 degrees around about midday. So the first pool of...
38 to 40. In Australia, we call that winter.
So it's going to be roughly about 30 degrees around about midday. So you're looking at plus 30s pretty much for all the major games this afternoon. It's going to be pretty intense for these teams. I think
We
it's...
should have brought a jacket.
Oh, yeah. You should look at our lovely compatriot, AJ. They're
Also
just
from Australia, also from Sydney because it's better than Melbourne.
sporting jeans and a hoodie yesterday. We were so proud of him.
Because that's the Australian way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The only thing that would make him more Aussie is if he was wearing thongs on his feet. I mean flip-flops. I forgot you Europeans are weird.
There we go.
We call them thongs in Australia.
Yeah, because they're
that's
like...
what we do.
Because they're thongs, because they're like underwear for your feet.
Exactly. I just don't understand the Europeans sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I've got this... Like, the most Australian thing you can have is a pair of thongs with the Aussie flag on it. It doesn't get more Australian than that. That's
Alright.
what the Team Australia team plays in when we come to World Cup. Everybody's wearing their Aussie thongs, and that's why we win so much.
So it looks like we've got a little bit of a discussion here with the referees. Captains are also getting quite involved. Looks like there was a little bit of a scuffle here with some of the beaters, and they're not happy about what was going down.
So the ref is just talking to the players. It'll be interesting to see if any players end up in the box because that could give a real advantage to the other team.
If there's a card called here, if there's a card called here, I think probably Switzerland's safest play would actually to play a defensive seeker, and just until that extra beater comes back on. But I'm not too sure what's happened here.
They can't get close to the snitch because the Irish beaters are just all over them. Give the man a chance, guys. So we're all here to have fun. But yeah, that's actually a smart play. Just defensive siege until you've got everybody back. Otherwise, the Irish can just keep going at the snitch. But it will be interesting to see how this game goes because Switzerland's on 6. Oh.
And there we go.
Blue card for red beater number 16, illegally claiming immunity. Penalty time is negated by the goal. Goal is good.
All right. So, Helen, would you like to run us through that call there by the referee?
All right, so there was a card, and when you get a card, you have a 1-minute penalty unless somebody scores, if it's a yellow or blue card. So Switzerland aren't down any players because Ireland just scored. So now the Irish team is on 80 points. Switzerland is on 60. So we'll see how this goes. Oh, they've got Philip Moore. Ireland has Philip Moore back on the snitch. He was snitching during the German development game.
Swift beat there from the beaters. They do not want to give him any time at all on that snitch.
And they just keep beating everybody. There's a lot of craziness going on right now. Switzerland has bludger control, so that will definitely give them an edge over Ireland. Oh, and he missed at point blank.
Oh,
so close.
What a beautiful catch
so
attempt
close.
between the legs there. What a dodgy one. You could end up grabbing the wrong ball.
Oh, that would be unfortunate. You know, if the snitch gets the seeker on his back, you can always just use your feet to catch the ball. That's what we do it down under.
Yeah.
Oh, and there is a bludger coming towards us. I hope we don't get hit.
Oh,
we're all right. Yep. So there's a lot of bludger play happening. There's a lot of craziness. Oh, and Philip Moore just got hit by a bludger. That's unfortunate. And the Swiss guy might be about to lose his broom if he's not careful.
looks like. So the score is now 160. They're going defensive seeking now.
When did Ireland score? I missed that. I was too focused on the snitch. Whoops.
I'm chucking in some strong defensive seeking there.
Ireland just has
Switzerland
to keep
getting very
scoring,
desperate here.
If they keep putting on goals, then all Switzerland can do is just defend that snitch.
One of the beautiful things, though, about Switzerland, despite their young age, they do learn very hard, and they are pushing and keeping Ireland nervous. And here we go. Oh,
that was close.
Quite there from the...
Beat before the goal, unfortunately. The referees are calling it no good.
That's
just unfortunate. And if you look to the snitch cam, you will see some beautiful defensive seeking from number 6. And the Irish seeker just got beat out by a bludger. Reminds me of the game back in '94, Bulgaria versus Ireland. That was a Harry Potter joke for anyone who's not a nerd, like everybody here.
You complete and utter drongo. Go back to Australia. We are not having that Harry Potter profanity on this live stream.
I am very sorry for that. I'll write about 394 pages of my apologies to you and everybody in European Quidditch.
That will suffice. That will suffice. Back to Quidditch, the actual, real, intense sport. And a quick beat there on the defensive seeker. So Philip Moore now getting some nice one-on-one time.
Let's see if he can catch this snitch.
What's about some beautiful beater work there down by Team Ireland.
So Switzerland is still 40 points down. If they get one more goal, then they can start trying to catch the seeker, snitch again. And if they catch the snitch, this game will go into overtime, which will be very exciting for everyone here. Because overtime is just a desperate grab for power and just trying to win in 5 minutes. It's very intense overtime. Have we seen any overtime yet?
I don't believe so. There may have been 1 or 2 games, but I don't believe so.
Oh, and Switzerland just missed a goal, but they're trying again. Switzerland has the quaffle.
Need to look for those
very close.
Oh, and it's through.
It went through. Oh, that's wonderful for Switzerland.
It appears there's been a penalty called.
All right, so I think we'll quickly explain overtime. So what happens is, if one team is down by 30 points and they catch the snitch, then both teams are evened. So it goes into overtime because we don't do ties here in Quidditch. So the teams will swap sides of the pitch, and there will be 5 minutes of gameplay, and the game ends either at 5 minutes with whoever has the most points, or when the snitch is caught. So if the snitch is caught, you've got 5 minutes to play, and whoever has the most points at the end of 5 minutes of play, they win.
Currently running all over.
Snitch is caught first.
Currently running all over pitch. I believe it's number 17 and 66, Maureen and Annette. I think they're the 2 Quidditch mums of Team Switzerland, and they've been to every single game for Team Switzerland for the last 2 years.
That's pretty amazing. I wish my mum would do that for me, but she cares about the dog more.
They are the ultimate fans of Team Switzerland, and they even supply the own mascot, their dog, I believe. I'll just run and grab that name here so you guys can hear a little bit more adorableness from Team Switzerland.
See, Australia used to have a kangaroo as a mascot, but it kept punching everybody in the face, so we had to get rid of him. Made some pretty good steaks.
There we go. So we got the mascot as the team's dog, is, Princess von Schwameningadingaden. I think that's the name. So
Best name for a dog, really.
fantastic.
Like, if you're going to name your dog, you've got to go all out.
Absolutely. Why bother sticking with anything less? In the background as well, you can see a lot of the other teams really heating it up, getting warmed up for the matches to come.
So, all right, rest is still deliberating, but if you look on the live stream, I think you can get a sneak peek of Hank. I think you can see Hank somewhere.
No, you can see the beautiful Irish supporter there and his lovely
Oh,
Irish
yes,
flag, his
I must have
big,
mistaken him for a unicorn.
him and his penny whistle compatriot.
Just
They've
keep
got
him
the
playing.
kilt, they've got the little drum. They're playing some really beautiful Irish music on the pitch today.
Music is probably what's helping the Irish team win. It's not the players, it's the musicians. They're the ones giving them spirit.
It could also be the really strong sporting background of pretty much every single player on the Irish team as well.
That's true.
When you start scrolling down the list, they all play not only Quidditch, but a whole bunch of other sports as well. One of my favourite Irish sports is, in fact, the sport of curling. Very similar to Quidditch, in fact. It's basically like hockey and rugby combined. You have to run, but you have to throw the ball every 3 or 4 steps, I believe. And you also have to balance the ball on the end of your hockey stick as you run. It's a very engaging, very interesting sport, similar to Aussie rules actually as well.
I genuinely do not know if you were being serious.
I am actually legitimately being 100% serious.
Why have I never heard of this before? Who needs Quidditch when you have curling? Let's go to the curling World Cup. That'll be better.
Yeah, it was actually happened just 2 weeks ago.
Well, why didn't anyone tell me? I could have gone there instead of here.
All right, here we get a call from the head ref.
This is going to be good. Oh, that's so good for Switzerland. All right, so the goal is good, so that's good for Switzerland because they're back in range. They can start trying to catch that snitch.
Yellow card for greenkeeper number 3. Ignoring beat calls. Penalty time is negated by the goal.
Ah.
That's very good for Switzerland because they are back in range. So they can start trying to catch that snitch, and if they catch that snitch, we'll be seeing overtime, unless Ireland can quickly do something with this. They are a player down, so this is not a good situation to be in.
All right. If I'm not mistaken, we have one of our fellow commentators, Jerry Farino, now giving a bit of advice to Team Ireland. Oh, she goes, fingertips just brush the edge of the snitch here. We have a full-on view.
Otherwise, they will be in trouble. They'll be doing overtime.
Their amazing old-timer Quidditch player, Samson, number 49 on Swiss team beater, is not letting them get near the snitch.
Switzerland has the quaffle. If they get this goal, then Ireland is really in trouble. So Ireland needs to catch that snitch.
Quick pass off there. Switzerland still maintain possession. Looks like they're going for that drive. Just got swiped. Just got swiped. Looks like Switzerland are feeling comfortable and getting a few extra goals up here.
So close. The hand was on the sneak attack. And the shorts are down. So we've got to give the snitch a few moments to pull his pants back up because when the shorts are down, you just can't go for him. And Biltmore has been sent back to the hoops. I would be very careful if I was him because you don't want to be making any mistakes right now. Otherwise, you could lose the game.
Right. Beater hits. Beater number 18 takes the beat, but also hits the seeker. In situations like this,
Giving some time alone with the seeker. Biltmore is back on the snitch. Will he get it this time?
in scenarios like this, you do not want to give that snitch.
And beat from behind.
Fantastic work there by Samson from Team Switzerland. Beating on and takes the beat on the quaffle as well. Just beats left, right and centre. Really good play there by Team Switzerland, learning to drive the quaffle towards the snitch.
Swiss get this goal, then they're going to be in a good position to win this if they catch the snitch. And Pettigrew is back on the snitch, trying to get that. Let's hope his speediness comes into play. He's the fastest boy on the Irish team, so let's see how that goes.
You need to be quick and agile. Switzerland are so close here.
But beat.
Oh, fantastic. We've got one of my favourite beater combos here on Team Switzerland. Number 16 and number 45. They are Number 16 and number 45. They are my favourite couple here in all of Quidditch.
Aw.
They've got such amazing synergy, these two.
I thought we were your favorite couple.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. Yeah, who wouldn't love the Swiss? They make pretty good chocolate.
and they have very good fondue. In fact,
That's true.
I remember fondly when they pulled out a fondue kit at last European Cup.
Oh, and Switzerland is...
Straight goal there now for Team Ireland. So they are now out of snitch range. It is all go or nothing now for the Team Ireland.
Yeah, they're 50 points up. That's a pretty safe spot. Switzerland is just most likely going to defend because they wouldn't want to lose again. They have the quaffle, so let's see if they make an opportunity. Maybe they'll get that goal in, which would be great for them. They just need 2 more goals and then they can win this. Oh, that was very close, but the Irish keeper has the ball again. And the Irish keeper is making a very quick run for it. Let's see if he's fast enough to get it in. Up, and he just shot that ball right through the hoop, and the ball has just gone flying off pitch. So it'll be a while before we see the quaffle again.
Starting.
Lovely refs and volunteers have spotted the quaffle for us.
Switzerland
has the quaffle now.
Kudos to Team Switzerland, really pushing themselves super hard here on pitch at the moment.
I'm really enjoying the defensive seeker they've got on right now. Just giving it his all. The Irish team just can't break through the Swiss defense when it comes to the snitch, so they're doing a wonderful job.
Team Ireland doing an interesting
Team
play.
Ireland has the quaffle again. Sorry to cut across.
That's okay.
Oh, and they nearly got a bludger too. So I think the Swiss seeker has it sort of easy. They just have to keep the Irish seeker away, and if they do that, then that's all. They just have to let their team catch up, and they can just turn around and catch that snitch.
So here
So we've got McDonald from Team Ireland. They're our seeker right now. They're giving it their all. They're just running back and forth between the hoops and running to the snitch. It's really a big cardio workout. You run to the snitch, you get dismounted, you run back, you get some pretty great calls after that.
I was actually looking at a play the other day. Apparently, here we go on Team Ireland. Oh, going for the goal. Just a little bit of a fumble there. Goes for a quick kick. And back in the hands of the Swiss. As I was saying, for people that are concerned, is that the Quidditch roughly uses about the same amount of energy, calories, that sort of thing, as tennis. It's a good comparative from what I've heard. But obviously in heat like today, it is really intense.
It is very intense, so I hope everybody remembered to slip, slop, slap. Slip on a hat, slap on some sunscreen, and... Wait, slop is sunscreen.
Slip on a hat.
Slide into some shade. Who knows?
Slip,
Just
slop,
stay
slap.
safe, kiddies.
Exactly.
Alright, that's another goal to Team Ireland. That's 140 to Team Ireland. Orange.
The Swiss are just not giving up.
And neither is the Irish seeker, making another run for it. Alright, so they're going to sub off the seeker now, see how that goes.
Switzerland now really pushing for goals here. They need to put on their A team.
But they can defend the snitch for as long as they want. If they just keep defending, eventually they'll catch up. They can tire out the Irish and just catch up and get some goals. Make the Irish run around a bit and get themselves to tire themselves out. Because in this weather, your biggest enemy is not the other team, it's the heat.
Fantastic. And there you go.
All right, so Switzerland is doing a great job at defending the snitch, but they just got beat. Up, and Switzerland just stole a bludger, got beat as well. The Irish seeker is beat. Everyone's just running around. It is complete chaos, so it's a normal day of Quidditch.
Running around, we're now looking at the scores.
Ireland is just pulling ahead. Like, they've really come through once the snitch is on pitch. I think the snitch is just giving them that extra edge they need because they don't need to worry about him too much. While it would be nice to catch the snitch and end the game, it's fun for everybody in the shade to watch both teams run around. All right, so Switzerland has the quaffle. They are making a run for the hoops. Oh, that was so close. Oh, that would have been amazing if it had gone in. Like, what I'm loving about the European teams is that no one's afraid to make that long shot and just try and shoot for the hoops from far away. In Australia, we have terrible arms and we just can't get it in the hoop to save our lives.
Like they say in Australia, never ease up on the dunk.
I think that's just a Miles Newton thing.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Oh, yeah, that's it, everybody. Too bad in Australia we can't dunk to save our lives.
But we can play good Quidditch.
Not as good as these guys, because this is so entertaining right now. All right, so the Seeker just got hit by Irish Seeker hit by a bludger. Irish Chaser hit by a bludger. Oh, that was pretty close, and the Swiss are going after it. Are they going to make it? Oh.
A little bit desperate here. A bit of a slap there. You could hear that. What
that
a
was so
beautiful
close.
deflection there from the keeper.
So keepers are allowed to put their hands through the hoops. No one else is. If you put your hand through the hoop to stop a goal and you're not a keeper, well, that's a bit of a... Well, it's time in the penalty box for you then. Or you're just in trouble. Goal stands. But yeah, that was amazing work from the Irish keeper.
And I believe we are now going into possibly one of the longest games so far here. Yeah, I think almost correct. Actually,
it's half an hour, so Switzerland just keeps defending that snitch because that's what you've got to do in this situation. Defend the snitch, get many goals up. I think one of the longest games of Quidditch was about 90 minutes. It happened down in Melbourne where one of the teams was just down by... Oh, Switzerland scored! You can make a comeback if you're willing to put all the time into it. Up and there's Brooms down. So about this game in Melbourne, it was in 2016. One of the teams, they were down when the snitch came on pitch and they just defended the snitch for an hour and eventually they made a comeback and they caught that snitch. So if you persevere, you can catch that snitch. You can win Quidditch.
Also another reason why we introduced snitch handicaps.
Yes, to make it a little bit easier on the Seekers because they get tired. The snitch gets tired too.
So basically for those who are interested in learning about snitch handicaps, essentially what happens is the snitch can run anywhere on the pitch for the first 5 minutes. Then they have to be contained within about 2 meters of the centre line after another 5 minutes. Then they can only use one hand after another 5 minutes. And then they have to stay within a 2 metre ring within a small circle on the side of the pitch. So we're currently coming close to the third handicap here for the snitch. So pretty good darn work, if I might say so myself.
Although I must say, I think the snitch is getting a lot of help from the Swiss Seekers because they're putting in most of the effort for him. They're just keeping the Irish Seeker away. And if you've got someone defending you, you can just sit back and not worry about a thing.
Exactly.
Although that's also when defending Seekers, if they get in range, they can just turn around and catch a snitch that's not paying enough attention.
We are getting really close here, folks, to the next hour of Quidditch. So just a little bit of a heads up, even though we've only had 30 minutes of game time, these players have actually been out on the pitch for roughly an hour. So it is getting pretty intense, pretty hot. So one thing I just say to you folks, we're probably not going to be running into analysis of this game. We're going to be jumping straight into our next match.
Yep. If games go for too long, that's just what happens in Quidditch. In Australian Quidditch, especially in New South Wales where I'm from, you have to allow an extra 2 or 3 hours for the tournament because it's going to be 2 or 3 hours late. If you've got a game at 8 a.m., don't expect to play till 11 a.m. And if you were meant to have a game at 5 p.m., you're not going to play till 8 p.m. in New South Wales.
So here we go, folks. Just a little update on our next game. So we will be running a little bit over time, but the next game is going to be Belgium versus Spain.
Oh, that's going to be a very good one, I think. Belgium is probably still reeling from the loss against Germany yesterday, so they've got to redeem themselves from that because last year at the World Cup, they almost beat America. That's the second time, and that would have been the second time in Quidditch history for America to lose if they'd won that game. So I think they're probably gunning for the European Games Championship.
Yeah, Belgium are making a really strong comeback. I tell you what, there are a lot of really big underdogs here. Like you've got Belgium, you've got Turkey, you've got Germany. I'd say those are my sort of top three. And then you've got Team UK, the defending champions, who just want to stick it out as long as they possibly can. My money's on Turkey, if I'm perfectly honest. Because of the heat, they just know how to manage it. I think once it hits past 2 o'clock, it's not going to be about the best teams, the best work. It's just going to be purely who can survive the heat and go for it and really make those good calls under pressure.
Saying something. All right, the rest is still deliberating. I think I'd put money on Germany just because they've got the home ground advantage. If you were listening to any of their games yesterday, whenever they scored, it was so loud, and it really does help having the support of the crowd. Probably helps that we're in a German town as well.
And here we go, call from the ref.
And the Swiss seeker is ready to defend and beat up by an Irish beater. That's number 28. I have been loving 28's work. Harrison. He is head of the QUK, Quidditch UK, and the IQA gameplay. Also the tallest boy at 198 centimeters. Please use feet. I know what feet are. I don't know what a centimeter is when it comes to height. And Switzerland looks like they might be able to score. Switzerland just scored. That was an amazing goal by number 11. Fantastic work.
That one there is their youngest player on the team. That is John Klager. He is 16 and also plays for the Mosgilebo Truckles.
Well, that was an amazing goal.
What an incredible debut from that player.
I think they've got a bright future in Quidditch ahead of them. All right, so Ireland is making an attempt on the goals. Are they going to get in? No, maybe. Looks like they've got beat. And Switzerland has the quaffle again.
Gotta say, I really like these young players coming into play for these teams. It's really showing the benefits of these youth Quidditch games that have been going on around Europe at the moment. Their players are now getting from ages 10 to 14, getting an idea of the game, and then just being absolute powerhouses when they come into the sport.
So it looks like the Swiss strategy of getting the Irish side to tire out is working a little bit for them. Ireland's getting tired. They've been out in the heat, but so is Switzerland. I think the heat is just getting to everyone because it's just a little bit hot right now. And
just a little bit for them.
Not for us. Yeah, we'd be fine. We could keep going for another 2 hours of this. But yeah, everyone's just running around in the heat. It's going everywhere. We've got a brooms down. So this game has been going on for a long time. So when that happens, tempers start to flare a little and everyone just wants to end the game, especially Team Ireland, because they're up and if they can get that snitch, then they win. But they just can't break through the defense of that Swiss seeker.
I think they should just concede some goals. Just get your full beaters on the snitch. Just give them a solid 30, 40 seconds. It's all you need. But they're just too concerned about the Swiss regaining those goals.
Well, the Swiss have just had to bring on
Chaser number 44, illegal contact, two-handed tackle.
Wow, there we go. That there is number 44 from Switzerland. But two-handed tackle, if they were playing in the United States, that would actually be legal.
But we're in Europe, so that's not legal.
Really interesting debate there on the double-handed tackling technique.
It is an interesting debate for another time because I don't know enough about it to debate you.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. And that was a great double beat by both the Irish beater and the Swiss beater. Ireland's got some time on the seeker if they can get there. And the Swiss seeker is back, and Swiss seeker has just chased off the Irish seeker. All right, so that's Pettigrew number 67 making another run for it. The Irish beater just beat off the seeker. And Philip Moore is back into seeking. He's also quite quick. Switzerland has the quaffle. They're getting rid of the beaters.
Now getting here with the experience.
Here's number 10, making his way, trying to score. It's pretty impressive. He just keeps ducking past that keeper.
Really loving the defensive seeking work here from player number 6 of Switzerland. That one there is Claudia Loach. She's got some really great footwork, keeping herself very planted, nice really wide stance. So Philip's going to really have to move to get around her. There's definitely no
beater to
driving
help
through.
him out. Sometimes beaters are your friends in this situation.
Beaters are always your friends.
The Irish team, they're just leaving the beaters with the chasers, which means that their seekers just aren't getting enough time. Philip is utilizing all his time, but it does look like they're all getting tired. The Swiss seeker just needs to stand there and be in his way.
As we say down in, goes for a little quick tap through the legs. But as we say down in, so close. As we say down in Australia, when beaters are your friends, we say beaters before Sheilas.
Exactly. That's why it's better to be a beater in Australia. That was a long pass, and unfortunately it missed the goals and it's gone out of bounds, so that's a turnover to the Irish side. The Irish keeper has the ball, and slowly making his way up the pitch. We'll see how this goes. But meanwhile, Philip Moore is just trying to break through that Swiss defense. But Switzerland is just too good at defending everything.
One of the best ways to get around a defense like this is really just to make them move. Just go for a nice light jog, keep yourself warm, keep yourself fresh. Philip here is clearly getting quite tired. He's just sort of standing there kind of waiting for his beaters. And there comes in Samson, lovely old timer there on his beating, just quickly tapping Philip, making him go for another little bit of run. You can see here that quite a lot of the beaters and the seekers and everyone getting a little bit more flat-footed. They're staying back on their heels a little bit more, jogging a little bit.
And Switzerland is making a break for it. Will they get through, or is that too many Irish people just around the goal for them to make it? It looks like that Swiss chaser has been beat, and it looks like the quaffle is back with the keeper again. Philip Moore is still trying to get around that seeker, but when you're a defensive seeker, like an attacking seeker uses so much more energy than a defensive seeker. So all you have to do is run back to the hoops every now and then when you get to...
Oh my gosh! I think that was a catch through the legs right there, folks.
That's what we call a Chris Rock in Australia, but when you do it with your feet.
Well, everyone just likes using the down under technique.
Yeah, just a little cheeky through underneath the balls and just go right under and come right up the other side. All right, so the refs are still deliberating. Is it clean? Sometimes it's clean, sometimes not. Oh!
And there we go, folks. Team Ireland now securing their place for their next match. They're now going in to potentially play against either Denmark or Slovenia. We'll find out. Check out the apps, check out the website, check out and message your friends who are down here at the European Games.
So that's been a wonderful 36 minutes of gameplay, so a very long game today. And that was pretty amazing from both sides. Good effort.
We are going to be signing off ASAP. Sadly, folks, no analysis today. We're just going to be jumping straight into our next game, which is going to be Belgium versus Spain. But until then, it has been an absolute pleasure from talking to you here today. My name is Jans and I play in Melbourne.
And my name is Helen and I play in Sydney sometimes when I'm not injured.
G'day, folks. Have a great day.
Stay in the shade. Stay hydrated.